Yo, what is good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? Jay Barry here, and I'm back with another video, here to give my impressions of Infinity Strash Dragon Quest Adventure of Die. I want to say a huge thank you to Square Enix for providing me with an early access code so I can put out my impressions and give my review of this game. Thank you, Square Enix, for sponsoring the video and helping the channel out. You know what I mean? We really do appreciate you guys supporting, you know, the content creators out there that's trying to talk about these video games. So let's get into it and let's talk about Infinity Strash Dragon Quest The Adventures of Die. I am a huge fan of this series, Adventures of Die. I do love the anime. The anime got me into reading the manga. You know what I mean? When they released the dub version of the anime, I went right back to watch the series again. You know, because I like doing that stuff. I'll watch it, you know, in the original Japanese language with the subtitles, and I'll watch it with the dub whenever the dub come out. I'm just that type of guy. I like watching both versions. You know what I mean? And I really enjoyed watching the anime, which, like I said, if I enjoy anime, I'm gonna watch the manga. And I do like Adventures of Die. I like their take on, you know, the Dragon Quest series. You know, I think Die is Die is like probably one of the most strongest and beast mode heroes in the Dragon Quest series. I know a lot of people might not put Die there as far as like a main line Dragon Quest game, and I understand that. But as a Dragon Quest, you know, series or franchise, yo, Die is a monster. So let's talk about this game, because I was really anticipating, very excited to play it. And I do enjoy what I've been playing from Adventures of Die. I do think there's a cool game here. I do think that you have to play a little bit more methodical. This is not just a typical hack and slash type game, because I do feel enemies are very strong, especially the bosses are very strong in the game. It kind of gives you the impression of like how the anime and the manga was. You know what I mean? It's a very difficult feat that you got to overcome. You know, from these characters within the anime and the manga, and you get that feel here with these bosses, because the bosses got a lot of HP. They have these stagger modes, or you know, you can cause them to stagger. They do a lot of damage, and yeah, it can be difficult. You definitely have to level up, get your levels up, because man, you can either get washed up, like you see, Mam is getting hurt. You know, Hadlar, he's aiming for Mam because she's the healer. But yeah, it can be a struggle. I do like certain portions of the gameplay though. You know, it does feel good. The performance of the game feels pretty good. The characters feel good to move around with. But I do feel that when it comes to the gameplay, they could benefit from canceling a lot of these animations, especially like if a melee character, you are locked into a lot of these animations. The game teaches you about just frames, and you know, you press square, and then you delay the third square, and it gives like a just frame more damage type of attack. But when you do those moves, or when you do the full combo of pressing square 3 times, you are locked into these animations, and it definitely sucks sometimes, because when you're trying to, you know, stagger a boss, or when you're trying to defeat a boss and you do the moves to do the damage and you're locked into the animation, the bosses just continue to hit you, you know, and they hurt. They hurt a lot. You know, bosses, I feel like the stagger system is cool, but it's still a little flawed in my opinion, because it doesn't last long. When you get the stagger, it's cool to stagger them so you can do some damage, but you don't really do as much damage as you would do regardless in the first place. You know, when you're just regularly hitting the enemies, in my personal opinion, like the stagger doesn't last long enough to cause and inflict a lot of damage on the bosses, which I thought they could extend the stagger time for the bosses. I do feel like The dash can come out, should come out a little bit quicker. Like I said, you get locked into these animations within the game, and you got to commit to that. You got to commit to those animations. The game does offer like a nice cool mode as well, where, matter of fact, before we get into that mode, let's just talk about the setup and the story. So this is basically following the anime, is basically following the manga as far as what you know of the story. It sets you up as far as the beginning of the game. It's where Baran takes away Dai's memories, you know what I mean, so he can, like, you know, force him to come back with him. And from there, it sets the game up as far as, like, you got the temple of memories or recollection and stuff like that, you know, and all these bond memories and things you're collecting within the game. You know, all the stuff that you've seen, you know, Dai have when he did lose his memory to Baran's attack. You saw all those bonds and all those shatter all over the place. So throughout the game, as you're recollecting and replaying all these scenarios in the game, you're recollecting all these you know, bonded memories for Dai. And the bond memories, I like that system because it does help you build your character how you want it. It improves your attacks and whatnot. And I do like what they did there with the bond attacks. As you can see, I'm trying to dodge Crocodine's AoE attack, but it's that move is so cheap because, like, when you're attacking, no matter if you're attacking, no matter what he's doing, he's always going to get that move off. There's a certain timing that you got to do to dodge it, but it's very hard to do. And I messed up right there. That's the show. I wanted to show you guys how difficult it can be to fight some of these bosses, so I just put them in there, you know. But yeah, the way how they set up the story, I feel like they could have benefited better from just having a streamlined retelling of the story. I get the situation, and I get what the setup, what they was trying to do here, you know, collecting the bond memories, but I do feel that it feels very dated as far as it feels like a old school PS3 fighting game. You know how they did the story. You know, you have certain chapters, and chapters is broken up into subsections where you might have like 1, you know, 4 or 1 5 and 1 6, where 1 4 might just be a retelling of the story. So it's just like a cutscene that you got to sit there for like good 3-5 minutes and just watch. Then, you know, 1 5 might be an action scene where they have like this Musho type setup of gameplay where you have this arena, you run from point A to point B, and there's a whole bunch of like Dragon Quest enemies that you got to fight through. I have no issue with that. I just feel like they could have benefited more from you know, the showcasing, you know, Dai's like strength and abilities, or even just traversal aspects. I feel like they could have added much more within the game of that portion of it. And then you have like your boss setup, you know, type gameplay. So say 1 6 might be a boss or enemy that you fight individually, or, you know, they have like a whole bunch of Dragon Quest enemies as well that pops up. But yeah, that's the setup of the game, and that's how you progress throughout the game within these chapters and subsections. Which it, like I said, it just feels a little bit too outdated, where now we're in 2023 or whatnot. You know, sometimes, you know, people, if a fighting game I could understand, but like a game that's trying to retell a story like this, I wish they just had a more streamlined, you know, process of retelling Adventures of Dai, you know. But like I said, the gameplay, if you like Adventures of Dai, if you like the characters, I can see you playing it. But, you know, it could get really, really daunting just retelling those stories the way how they're doing it again in the type of fashion that they're doing it in. You know what I mean? It's a little too PS3 for me. But they do have a really, really cool mode though, where they have this temple of recollection, and in this temple, this is where you pretty much have majority of the RPG aspects, where you level up your characters. You can level up your skills, your bonds, where you throughout the game, you're collecting all these materials and bonds and whatnot. And within that mode or within that section of the game, this is the area where you level up all those abilities and skills and bonds. But also within it, there's an actual like dungeon crawling type mode within it as well, where you go through these layers within the temple, and every time there's a door that opens up where you can power up your party, so you can benefit for going within the door with a green shield that increases your defense, and they give you three options on how you want to increase your defense. If you want to do it to a singular character, if you want to do it to all characters, I like that. And they have multiple doors. So there's a magic door, there's also a skill door, or like a super ability door. There's an attack increase door. There's a whole bunch of doors that they have within the game, which it incentivizes us. So if you want to build your characters to be more defensive, you can do that. You want to be more offensive, you can do that, and it's pretty cool. And when you get to when you get past like 5 doors, then you can either leave the temple or continue down into another layer. And as you go into deeper down into the temple, you start to fight against other bosses and things like that. Which also, by going through the layers and going through these doors, you're also collecting bond memories as well. To power up or to build certain classes with their characters. I do like the switching of character portion. I think they can benefit by adding they have it already set up where you press it down and you can switch to the next character, but I feel like they can benefit as well by having the up directional button also switch your character. They have the up directional button where you can use your herbs or whatever, like buffs or whatnot that you collect to heal or to increase your defense, to increase your offense. But I feel like it'd be more beneficial to having the down and the up directional pad to switch your teammates, because when you start getting 3 teammates and you want to switch really fast, you can switch really fast, but you got to cycle through everybody before you get back to the top, is what I'm pretty much saying. And when you get 4, it is even more recognizable that I feel like they should have the up and the down button where you can switch your team. So this portion right here is how the Temple of Recollection area is set up. You can pick whatever benefits that you want as you complete a door. And I enjoy the temple a lot. And I do love the fact that with the bonds, it's not just the anime, but it's the manga, pieces, similar to like how Dragon Ball Kakarot was. And I like that aspect. I really like that because it gives you the best of both worlds. So you have pieces of the manga, but you also have pieces of the anime being shown within the game. And yeah, graphically, I think the games look really, really good. I do like the cutscenes a lot. I like the still figure cutscenes. They have the full motion cutscenes as well. The characters, the Dragon Quest characters, look beautifully in this game as well. The game looks really, really good. The performance is really good. Here's me switching up to pop and all that stuff. The switching up, getting a feel of everybody. Overall, that stuff feels really good. But there's a lot of jarring things in the game where if they was to do things differently, like canceling some of these animations that you're locked into, having the up and down directional button where you can switch your team, those things I feel like they could benefit from it. Increasing the stagger of these bosses, like I said, the bosses can get really, really difficult. The dash movement, I feel like that needs a little bit more invulnerability frames, at start of the dash or something, because or the dash needs to be a little bit longer because enemies can have double hitting attacks, and even if you dash, they will still hit you. The game is set up very cheaply, as far as how enemies are the super, super cheap to get you hit. You know what I mean? In this game, I feel like, because I don't think it's a skill issue with the game with me. It's just like, yo, I feel like it's set up this way to be difficult, to have you playing much more, like leveling up and going to the Temple of Recollection and all that stuff within the game. It does encourage you, because there's a time when I fought a boss and it told me like, yo, you died like about 5 times. You want to level up? You want to go to the temple? You know what I mean, to get your character right? You know what I mean? So it's encouraging to do that way, rather than just making me want to be super powerful using my skill. I feel like you're holding me down from displaying that stuff until I'm beast mode with the characters. But yeah, as far as like how I feel about the game, I feel like I'm in that it's an alright game. It's not super great, but it's not bad. There's certain things that can benefit, or they can, just catch up to the times of the storytelling. But I do think they have a good game here, but just the development design of how they wanted to set this game up, it can hinder the experience from wanting to continue to play. I think this is a game where it's set up as like bits and pieces. I play here for a little bit, I come back to it another day, play here for a little bit, come back to it another day, play here for a little bit. But we'll see. I'm going to have my review out, when I completely finish the game, and I'll give you my thoughts there. It could change or it could remain the same. But right now, these are just my first impressions of The Ventures of Die. There's a game there. There's a lot of dirt surrounding it though. But I feel like if you are a fan of the series, you're going to play it regardless. You can get your enjoyment out of it, just, replaying some of these amazing moments. But if you're coming to it as brand new, it can be daunting and it might be a little bit intimidating to play for those people that is not into the series or not into these type of games. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I made myself clear enough so you guys can understand my impressions with the game. And like I said, I want to thank Square Enix once again for providing a code for the game so I can put out this video and have a review of it. But it's your boy Jay Barry, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of y'all day. I'm gone. Enjoy. Deuces.
No! I've got to do something. Huh? Die! The lightning! Call down the lightning!
Give it up! I'll finish you off once and for all!
The lightning! Call lightning! Call down the lightning!
Take this, boy!